like that, we are live. Howdy, everybody. So, as always, let's make sure that we go ahead and get checked into the stream over at the check-in link right below. And I'm super excited to get started. It's going to be my last stream of Global Hack Week season launch. Haven't had a ton of a chance really to work on too much over the last few days, but I think it'll be really fun. And let's go ahead and jump right in, I think, into the work that we've done in part one and earlier in some of our other Global Hack Week streams that kind of brought over this tiny little side project adventure that we're working on. So anyway, welcome to good old Pet Plus. I go ahead and share my link here. So I have a lovely little old Chrome tab here that links to GitHub repository for anyone who wants the GitHub repository to follow along. Link is also going to go up in the chat in a second. So you should be able to grab it from there as well. And I'm going to leave the check-in link on the screen. You can't see the GitHub repo. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Awesome. So now y'all should be able to see the repo. And generally, right, you can go ahead and see my screen here. Super basic, part one progress, entirely Swift-based, iOS only app. Kind of sticking in my comfort zone, building out some UI for this app, just because I'm somewhat passionate about it. And yeah. So let's go ahead and re-enter my Xcode here. And I'm going to go ahead and get my setup here. So I've got all the things that I need next to each other, which I'm hoping will cooperate. So I want this here, yes. And then, yeah, we'll leave that as small as possible. It's fine. And then let's close out this tab that lets me see the preview. I do want to shrink this tab a little bit, but not fully. Leave it right about here, and then present, share my screen, share this lovely Pet Plus window, and then relaunch the app and go from there. What I'm also going to do is now take off that check-in banner so we have the full screen, and we'll swap it over into the ticker. And as always, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them in the chat. And then let's actually just add that into the banner here. So now that should go ahead and float over the screen. If it doesn't float over the screen that way, then we'll just do that. Perfect. Sweet. And then let's go ahead and refresh this preview. And then we can talk a little bit about what we've done since we were last here. I'm pretty sure we talked about making these little tab views on here, I think is what we were working on last time. Let's just jump in and confirm to make sure. And unfortunately, my everything is also super laggy right now. Also, chat's so quiet today, which is quite uncharacteristic. Got food, exercise. We've got this button that doesn't really work. Services and the profile. So services. And for the button, I want to do the I guess I would do a text home here, right? Or how would I use that to navigate? Make button to tab. All right, what I want to do is Swift. I'm going to make a tab with larger home button. And then of course what I can do is I wonder if I could do set up this button here, right? Because of course we have the tab item empty view here, right? I wonder if you could go with you could go with something like the label. So, oh, I forgot to turn the music back on too, or did I? Let me check. I did. That's fine. System image house dot fill. Pretty sure dot circle dot fill. I'm pretty sure that's not. Yep. Dot control size dot large, extra large. I don't think it actually did anything. So you might just want to leave food and exercise and home and services and profile in here. So So I wonder if trying to add a main color here would work. Aw, hi dog. Where'd your bone go, bub? Oh, you dropped it. Okay, well that works. He's the inspo behind this lovely app. Don't know if it's just my system, but music makes it difficult to hear. I can always turn it down. I just like having something on in the background if there's just like awkward pauses or I'm rambling for a little bit. So let me know if that works better. If it does great, then that'll be awesome, obviously. Not me tuning into the stream to make sure it looks good on Twitch and then hearing the echo. Very fun. Okay, let's see here. I want to actually make this home thing work. Okay, but it changes, so that literally changes the Also, it didn't even change the font or anything, so it's not gonna matter. So. That literally changed the background color of that. Right, because then that'll be home. That'll be house.circle.fill, right? And then make larger tab items. Swift UI. Dot font dot system size 26. Yeah, that's not doing much of anything. Yeah, so font doesn't work anywhere to change the size. We might just have to go with the tab on the home here, right? So what I'm thinking is that we don't want this to even show up on the right on the main tab view. So then instead, what we want to build out, of course, is all of the other views, right? So we want to build out some new files. So let's make a bunch of new Swift files from templates. Do a Swift UI view. I'm going to call it whatchamacallit. I'm going to call it, I guess we'll go with a food view, like all the ones that match. Then without template, of course. Then there was the profile view, right? Then we've got the we might just have to make our own custom tab art. Yeah, of course. Trying to figure out how to change the tab bar. So, okay, so it looks like well, now I'm going back to the tab view and I'm realizing that I want custom font here. So there's no way that I'm gonna be able to just ignore the fact that I want a custom font. So I am gonna have to actually change it to the custom font. I know that for a fact. So let's make sure that we can go ahead and initialize it. So we'll do, so I'm pretty sure this goes with here in the pep was app, right? Where does init go? Mm-hmm. Get my font name. Let's try to reload the tab view now and see what's happening, whether it has an actual custom font that I wanted it to have. We'll go ahead and take a look there and then we'll see whether that's good. Yeah, that looks like custom font to me, which is awesome. So food, exercise, home, services, and profile. Sweet, except now we want to replace these actually. So with food, instead of food here, I want you to link to food view, obviously. And then we're gonna try it out. We'll do profile view. Okay, so it is actually working. Awesome. And then we're gonna go ahead and delete this button part because I doubt we're gonna do the custom UI view. I don't think we have the time for that, sadly, which is fine. I mean, it's not the end of the world. If I end up continuing on with stuff, then we'll totally have time. And then we need the, yeah, I think I want to rename this to, might need to be a dashboard here. And then this needs to be called dashboard. And then, so dashboard view, I'll link to that, of course. So dashboard view, and then need an exercise view and a services view. So file, new file, not new file from clipboard. Ugh. Delete. Trash file. New file from template, Swift UI view. And then exercise view. And then, of course, use new file from template, Swift UI view. And then we have, and here would be services view. Cool. Let's see here. Man, I am tired today. Let's see here, right? So if I were to try out, out of curiosity, of course, our main tab view, right? Then I'm here, I want to do the not the dashboard, the exercise view. And then, of course, the services view. What happened to my food exercise services profile? What happened to my dashboard view? What? It's an empty view right now, so it won't load. So let's try to pop some stuff in here, right? Like, hello. Dashboard. Now will it show up in the type view, right? If I go do that, change it back to dashboard here. It will work fine now. Let me take a look. Yeah, food, exercise, dashboards, services, profile. Sweet. And then, of course, when we actually hit this one, it goes to dashboard. Perfect. Okay, nice. That looks great. And then a custom tab view, which is cool. Or somewhat custom, obviously. Already removed this to you because we did it. What view should we build out next, actually? That's what I'm wondering about. I honestly don't really know what I wanna make next. So I guess we'll find out. But generally, you know. Mm-hmm. Hello, hello. So let me pull up my Figma that we used for trying to plan things out here. Oh, that's my Figma app section. So let's look at the UI screens, right? So we have veterinary, grooming, and shop. So let's go to dashboard here. Because we have a lot of the stuff that we'll need for iCloud, but I don't really think we're going to get there, to be completely honest. So I think. Oh my goodness. We'll just go ahead and focus on let's go ahead and then in that case I can delete a lot of this. We'll just end up adding it back later if we want it. So I'm going to delete a lot of this stuff. But then in here, my apologies, hold on. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and do build out a nice little picture. So a top bar here. So in order to do the top bar, we'll do an H stack, of course, and then we'll do a nice little image, and then we'll give it a name. Then we'll do dot clip shape circle. and then dot frame. Sure, with 80 high 80, why not? And then I do want to actually test out a random image. I guess we can use a photo of myself. Why not? I'm already here. Let me go to my Photos app. I got one that I like. Maybe you could use my teacher yearbook photo. Why not? Let's do that. We'll do this here. Drag this in. Yeah. Phone's so. Computer's starting to get so laggy, which is so annoying because it just got replaced. Anyway, teehee. Let's go back here. Go ahead and rename this Kari. Perfect. I'll go ahead and assets. Add in a new photo image set. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and drag my SwiftUI up here, drag my photo. Perfect. Sweet, amazing. You can see a lovely little photo of me. Absolutely beautiful. Let's go ahead and drag this guy in here now. And by this, I mean my actual stream view so I can look at what's going on. All right, sweet. And then I want to go ahead and test out a dashboard view, right? Of course. This would be Kari. Lowercase dashboard view M. Should just be able to see it. So just clip shape circle, and then if I do after that, I would do a text that says hello, Kari. Okay, go ahead and do that. Oh, well, that's funny. It really clicked into my teeth. That's stretch out resizable. Dot scale to fill. Fit, please. I think, right? Or fill. Try fill. Just want to look like an actual circle, right? Yeah, there we go. That's better. We'll try like 50 by 50. No, that's way too small. 75? And then we'll do and then let's go ahead and grab a little blah, blah, blah. Of course, want do want to Poppins bold for sure, but I don't want size 32. I think we're going to settle for 12, maybe max of 15. Let's see what that's looking like. Hi. Oh, you're a patient little pup. All right, let's see here. It's really taking sweet time to load. That's actually quite concerning. Guess we'll find out. Guess we're waiting. I don't need Swift data anymore either. We'll delete that. Oh, that just reminded me I gotta respond to an email after we're done streaming. A bunch of other requests about lots of other things I have to do today. Oh my goodness. My dog has stood up. He is under my desk, but he's having a great time. So, semi-bold, please. Perfect. All right, let's create a stain. Are you gonna bite a bone? One chomp? All right, I'll go chomp. All right, I want to do state bar. I'll select tab, sample username, space, equal space, Ducati, hello, and then we'll do Poppins regular, then we'll do text. Do of course unwrapping of sample username, and that's the exclamation point at the end, and then of course do some dot adding dot leading like a -10. Just a -5 to make it look like we're not that far apart. I think that works. Maybe actually like a -4. Cool. Sweet. That's looking okay. And then we'll go ahead and in here, I guess we could add in a notification bell maybe or something similar, but I digress on that, you know? And then we've got, of course, trying to figure out what, oh, hold up. Give me 2 seconds. All right, buddy, I gotta hold him. Sorry, y'all. I was at work all day today, and I don't want to put my poor dog back to leave him lonely, so I'm letting him wander around my room, but he's still learning how to behave, so he's kind of wandering all over the place. I'd be a little rascal, so which is totally okay. It's welcome for him to be a little rascal. I like this login view. I'm trying to figure out how I even want to lay out this dashboard. I don't even know if I like this view. With the, I guess if I pushed it dot frame max width dot infinity and then dot alignment. Dot leading. All right, then I would push it all the way up to the top. I'm sorry, HTech should absolutely have an alignment. What in the world do you mean? Okay, fine. Make a group then. Can I make my group have an alignment in a frame? Oh, ooh, that made it worse. You know what might actually work is instead of trying this whole group thing, what if I just did first of all, let me fix the indentation here, do Control I, then I want a spacer right at the end. Push everything to the left. Yep, perfect, and let's give it some dot padding. Incredible, except now I want to bring back that -4 padding. -4. Maybe even 3. Okay, cool. I wonder how it looks with a longer username though. I'm gonna try it out as a joke. Yeah, it's a joke, just as a test. makes sense. All right, hello test, perfect, awesome. We have a spacer, right? Everything looks great. Amazing and wonderful and just great. Sweet. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do so let's go back to the files here. I'll do I don't want to make one. Let me check out this thing, right? Okay, we could do a nice little thing here, of course, where we could have it then a little, I guess we could make this up on a screen, right, where they could have my pets section, right? So what we would do there is, and then probably what I would want here is on the left-hand side is make a little image thing with the system name being, well, I want to look at the library, so find view, show library, and I want to look for a nice little image. View, show library, I want to look for a bell. I guess bell circle fill. Top font, top system. Size 32, for example. Then also, of course, get lots of padding. And then, well, let's go back to files here. This guy, of course, and then maybe just do dot bell dot circle. No, bell. Yeah, dot accent, dot foreground color, dot accent color. I guess accent works. Sweet. And then, well, maybe we might want to, so we go to our login view, right? We have accent color dark and accent color light, of course. I think we want to use accent color dark in a lot of these places. Foreground color, top accent color dark, and of course here as well. And foreground color dark, accent color light, dark as well here. I think that will make it look a little bit better here. Delete that. Well, this, I think that makes a whole lot more sense. Sweet. So then let's go ahead and trying to figure out if this makes sense even to push down further, if this looks solid. I think it's looking okay. Let's go ahead and make another one of these H stacks and then go pop in here, right? And then in this H stack, I want to make a actually, it might be a B stack first and then an H stack. Now that I'm looking at it. So B stack first and then an H stack on top of it. So I think we would have a what's the thing you called here? Not in log view, in lab tab label. Okay, cool. So let's try that. So my pets. Instead of figure.run.circle.fill, we're of course going to go for like one of the little paw ones. So I go to show library, paw. We've got paw print fill, but I think we'll just do paw print, and then we'll do dot custom. Pop it's bold, size whatever, right? We'll go for like 24. Maybe even 30. We have an H stack, right? And then let's do dot frame, and then not min width, max width, dot infinity, dot background, dot. Let's try to see what even happens here, right? Roll it, put it around my pets, yep. And then we could do a dot clip shape, rounded rectangle, corner radius 10. Of course, not padding. Then an H stack, and then each H stack. Let's make a state var sample pet list, which is of type pet, and then of course we'll in here make a class called pet, which won't have any much needed, and then we will do just as a sample var name, which is of type string, and then var, and this is an array of pet, var image, which is of type string as well, or not string. Well, I guess it could be string. Why not? Technically, it should be an image. We'll just do string for now here, and then let me add in just a blank image of something. We'll just make a nice little screenshot of a blank box. Go ahead and add that in here. Rename this guy. No, not really. Delete. I just want to rename it. Now we'll call this blank. Cool. And then in dashboard view, of course, the default will be blank. So name, and the default name will be test. And then let's just go ahead and replace my photo with blank as well, just as a means of testing it out, of course. Then, okay, you are doing okay, which is good. And then, right, so that's the paw print. Font custom is paw print semi-bold, size 30, and then an H stack. And then we're gonna do, I'm gonna do 3 pets here as an example, right? So then for each pet. In what's the thingy called? Sample pet list. What's my for each syntax? I need to brush up on this for each syntax. Because it's not, so it's for each sample pet list, and then it's pet in, right? VStack alignment.leading, text pet name, and image pet image. So my class is in front end identifiable. How's my saying? Empty thingy key. Give each image some room to breathe on the bottom here. And then I don't want to do a clip-shaped circle. We're going to do a rounded rectangle. The corner radius being just about 10. Nothing crazy. And then instead of Poppins medium, I think we're going to go with good old Poppins regular here. We can do this up to 15. I think that makes sense. Give it some padding just on the top here. Then I think what I actually want to do is give the images a little bit more room to breathe. Even actually make it bigger, maybe go for something like 100 by 100. Yeah, not bad. And now give it some padding at the bottom. Just not a ton on the test here, but yep. And I think this looks pretty solid, right? So we've got my pets here. And then hello test, right? And a little notification bell. So this would want to eventually, of course, turn into a button, right? We've got our pets, we can click on them. We would also have the, then we have the, pet status log. I'm trying to figure out how to do this here. Let me see. Let's shop. I don't need to buy anything. Mm-hmm. And then in the services view, what I think I want to build out here is so let me actually launch this app and see what in the world even happens. Like if I launch it on simulator. So I'm building out a ton of stuff and then not even pay that much attention to what it'll do. Just fine, of course, but just trying to make it somewhat fun. Let's go ahead and present the other screen instead. Nope, I don't want to invite a guest. Cool, I guess. Okay. That's fun. Except, first of all, wrong. Let's work on some things. My students really enjoy. So, takes us to the my pets, obviously. And then what I need is for my my Pet Plus app to take you to a main tab, actually. So let's go ahead and close, restart, and then we'll go from here. Which would be nice, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and rumble here. All right. Let's see what we got. It's loading, taking sweet time, of course. It's always hello world. Okay, great. It says dashboard. Okay, let's be solid. Services, and then of course profile. All right. So right now it just looks like this because we don't have all of the info that we want. But I'm not even sure what info I want to add yet, which is the other interesting part. So, oh, my dog's eating his little ballistic bone, which is good, obviously. So let's see here. We've got these guys right here. What else do I want in the? So I want to build out the home page here, of course. But outside of the pet locations, pet status, and pet food, and the vets, I don't really want to have all of that in here. I guess we could just maybe add in some in dashboard view here. And let's unpause the preview. And let's share this screen back with y'all. Let me actually take a quick, it'll be probably about a 2.5, maybe 3 minute break, just to get some water. I forgot to bring my water with me in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a super quick break. I will be back in, well, just a few minutes. Hey, buddy. And I'm back. Okay, so I think what I want to do is a couple things, right? I'm going to take off my quick break banner, so my quick break is over. And then, as always, let's go ahead and think about what we want to add in terms of this. I think we can maybe, so I'm trying to think of like what to do here. So we've got profile, right? So the distance we've got, okay, that's fine. This is all totally fine. This is all totally fine. I think I want to build like so my pets dashboard here, and then of course and here we've got, there's a way of course to track. I don't know if we need much more here, honestly, or if it just doesn't make more sense to, call the day with this, and then just add a giant spacer for now, and call it a day, and work on a view that I kind of have a better idea of what I want to do with. Because now if we were to go to main tab view, right, and run this in simulator, what I think we would see is just kind of a dashboard. Oh. Why do I have two dashboards? Why do I have two dashboards on my tab view? Is it that I have, so if I delete this, out of curiosity, what even would happen? Why do I have two, So if I were to comment this guy out, no, then I have 0. So why did I get 2 when I comment? Huh? Well, tag 2, tag 3, tag 4. So let me delete these tags. See what happens. Just curiosity. What in the world is this? Does this also happen when I log in? Is it just on the simulator? Let me try to launch the app on the sim and then see what happens there. I didn't see this. No, I have it in both of these. What in the world? What? Huh? How? Was it started happening when I added the spacer, right? Or did I make that up? All right, hold on here. Hold up. That's really strange. Hate that. Yeah, so when I added the spacer, it added a second. Oh, I wonder if I added my spacer too high. I teach my students this. Because think about it this way, right? That's your content view, that's your body, that's your VStack wrapper, right? So you want to add your spacer in your HStack, but outside of your VStack. So that, I think, then in main tab, you'll make it behave correctly. I think because I, in reality, had made 2 views, was treating it as 2 views instead of 1. Perfect. There we go. Hello test, my pets, right? Services. Perfect. That looks solid. I don't know what we're going to put in here. That's fine. Then we could do a profile page. And then, of course, if you click on each pet, it would go to their profile right now. But if we don't have that, just totally fine. What I want to build out, though, is the pet kind of profile. See, now I'm kind of stuck with what I want to make here, because got these services, got this profile, got this food and exercise and dashboard, right? And I don't really know what to work on. It's like I have so many things I want to get done that's like I know nothing is gonna, like not everything is gonna get done, obviously, while I'm here. So let's maybe do in services. Let's work on picking a specific pet. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy Todd. Can we stop playing with my wheels? Todd, thank you. Sorry, friends, he was gnawing at my wheels of my rolly desk chair, which totally not cool, buddy. Very not cool. Thank you. You want to go get your bone? You can go get your bone. How did you get your bone? You can go find this one. What did you do? Ah, I see. Okay, there you go. Hey, come on. I got you. There you go. Go get your bone. Or I just sit on me. That's what I do. Ah, what a cutie. Anyway, let's see here. So my pet's here, right? Of course. Then we've got the sample pet list, the spacer, the custom images, logins, right? Login view looks great at least. It's not working, but it looks awesome. Then the main tab view. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this part. Let me think about what I want to do next realistically. I think I do want to display like pet info. So let me do the main tab view, or from dashboard view. Let me steal a bunch of the code. We'll steal the sample, right? Because this is the services view, of course. Yes, services view, or profile view, or sign up view, or yes, services view. I'm gonna steal sample username, or I'm just gonna steal sample pet list. And then I'm gonna also take class pet, which is identifiable. Obviously, if I were, making this more than just like a little demo app for GHW, I would, invalid redeclaration of pet. You know what? That also works. So let's not do that. So we've got 3 sample pets here, of course. And then when we go into our dashboard view, we actually would want to have the VStack with all of this lovely pet info with the padding and all of this. So I'm actually going to grab this guy. And then what I'm going to do is, of course, paste him in here. However, a couple things I want to change. I want to create a @state var current pet is equal to 0 for each sample pet list pet in. Or what we could do is for each index, or 0, does that count? Hold on. How do I do a for each if index Swift UI? Cool. So it might be sample pet list.count, and then this will be index in, so it'll instead of become sample pet list.index.image, and then sample pet list.index.name. But then what we would do is probably the dot. It is a non-constant range argument must be an integer literal. It is an integer literal for each. I just need to be self. Nope. Wait, because what I want, so long story short, what I want to do is I want to be able to select a pet, right? So I want to say in here, right, probably have like a, could I do an if pet dot sample is not dot enumerated, maybe pet ID, yep, ID self pet index n. Maybe that would work. Well, somebody here broke that. Okay, okay, hold on. No. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I dropped some pens. Give me 2 seconds to clean up here. Let's grab these guys. Hold up. All right, I'm gonna hop off cam and off mic for 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. All right, let me enlarge item in view based on index. Think about no. Okay, cool. So now let's do so I want to do if so we'll do index is equal to current pet. I want it the width to be 200, otherwise I want it to be 100, right? Yes, okay. So just about with such a large padding as earlier. So now if I were to change my current pet to 1, of course, then my current pet to 2. I'm going to get rid of max with infinity here, actually. I would think none of them would work, right? Or is it going to crash? Yeah, okay. That's fine then. Okay. So if how do I make a horizontal scroll view Swift UI? So I think I would have to add a scroll view onto this guy, of course, right? So where it says the over the H stack, right? So then go, of course. Then here we do dot frame. We do dot horizontal here. So now I think I should be able to scroll through the pets, of course. Yep. And then I do want frame max with infinity too. So then we've got, of course, then my pets, and then we in here would have a scroll view. Right, I want to be able to go down this way. So now you should be able to scroll up and down, and then in here scroll left and right. Okay, looking solid, not bad. And then within this, right, when I click on a pet, you should be able to see the pet's health. So let's do then vaccinations. So then we probably want to make another, not another V-stack, but actually maybe I'm thinking about another V-stack here, right? That would then also have these modifiers. And then, so of course in that we would have a label that says, or a text that says vaccinations. Or like upcoming vaccines, right? And then you would want like this custom font here. stack. Yeah, you might want to make all of them a scroll view, right? So you can actually like walk through these. You can actually scroll through this view as well, which is really nice. Actually learning a decent amount about how to make this. Even though I'm not super happy with how it looks. I don't love this, especially the fact that like the animals clip here. I wonder if I increase this to 120 or 120 or so. And then dot font would be if index is equal to current pet. That should be dot custom Poppins semi-bold, right? Otherwise it should be dot custom Poppins regular, right? Yeah, now it's more clear who the selected pet is, right? And if we're going to change it to 1, of course, up here, then it should change to that guy as well. Sweet, awesome. That's actually really cool. And then upcoming vaccines, of course, we have the list here that would say something like, specific vaccines that they would be able to get, right? So you would have, little white boxes, for example, or like the little gray ones, right? They do say, like they have a vaccine for whatever, coming up, right? Okay. I'm a fan of this. This looks good. And then we have our main tab view still. Right, so now when we go from our main tab view, right, if we go from dashboard to services, right, then we can see here, hello test, my pets. Now I'm thinking about it, we might want to actually steal a bunch of this stuff. So I'm thinking we may need to combine some of these guys. So we may need this H stack, funnily enough, in my main tab view, in my services view here. Then I think when we have that, I'm just gonna see what I'm doing. So why not? Nice. Okay, this actually looks really solid, except there's too much padding everywhere, I'm thinking. But then I'm thinking for the scroll view is, let's go ahead and grab everything from the scroll view down, right? And if we go into my dashboard view and then I were to grab this, scroll view down, then of course we should, in theory, have a pretty solid looking view here. Except, oh yeah, we also need a current pet. My apologies. And then could also, of course, try to test it out with more pets, right? So we could do things like we could do an upcoming section here, right? lists all the things. Of course, right? And then of course we could also do a nice little cleanup, Control I, some of my indentations, especially inside here. Control I. Let's check on these guys now. We've got scroll view. And then a corresponding H stack, of course. Then upcoming. That's actually instead of a. So I want to use my pet system image operant. I think I'll use somewhat of a clock. So let's do edit, review, show library, do a clock. Or timer. Let's use timer. And then we could, for example, do a, something like subsections here. So then we could have, of course, corresponding with the main tab views. We could do a, something like let's get H stack here that would say label food. And then, of course, we go into our app here, right? So size 21, of course, right? And then we could also, within that, go ahead and pass in maybe we could try to attempt to sort these in some sort of chronological order, right? So we could do for example, instead like a haircut, something, or like scissors, you know what I mean? So you go to the library, then you look for haircut, scissors, perfect. We could do, in here, I don't think we need with this label, right? So we do font custom fonts right there here, of course. Then we could do who's the view, show library, scissors dot batch dot ellipsis. Do grooming. So we could say something like a food restock, grooming appointment. And then of course, and something like you could go into Todd. Thank you. And then of course to file. And then to the library. We'll then go ahead and maybe get it's hard. Yeah, cross. Oh, lots of new medical ones. Oh, maybe like the, yeah, cross dot fill. I'll do fork dot knife. I think then we'll do, of course, legal, then that visit. And then we'll do cross dot fill. Right. And that's our medical cross upcoming. Right, and then if you swapped the pet, right, to the different pet, then you'd be able to see something else there. Oh, my computer is gonna die. That is not good at all. Well, let's see if we can power through the stream because I don't know where my charger is. And if I disappear, then so would be. Anyway, let's see here, right? So we have my pets upcoming. All right, you can scroll through the pets here. You can go through this, of course. Then we, eventually we'll be able to select these guys and click on them. Then the upcoming, right? Food restock, living appointment, vet visit. And then the, anything else we might want on this screen, let me think. Let's see here. I don't know if we have anything else more to do that I want to add here. Let me maybe go ahead and push my changes up to GitHub just so I don't forget about them. Let me go ahead and do Git. Let me go ahead and find my folder here. Pretty sure I know where I put it, but you never know. Let me also trash this. Downloads. Nope. That's a bunch of really old stuff that I'm going to trash. We've got documents, MLH, and the app here, perfect. I should be able to drag that finder window on here. I should be able to change directory to this app and do git add all, git commit -m. We'll do part 2 progress. And let's do git push. Actually, let's delete that. And then let's do git commit -m changes are part 2 finished. Git add all or git push. Yeah, so I deleted, a couple of things in there, right? And now if we go to my GitHub page, which we should be able to open in a second, github.com, we've got a nice little setup for Pet Plus here, right? So we can go ahead and grab this guy, right? Take a look here. Got part 2 progress posted up here, and I guess it says part 2 finished. As well, even though I don't know whether we're exactly done for today, but if we are not done yet, we are close to it. Just probably because we won't be able to get a ton more done in this pretty short amount of time. Trying to figure out what I want to work on in terms of maybe wrapping up the app. Is there something that I want to learn about in the next 20 minutes that I don't know how to do? I will admit it was pretty cool to get to explore some of this stuff I haven't touched in a while, mostly like horizontal scroll views and accent colors and navigation with tab bars and all this other cool stuff that I'm honestly a pretty big fan of. But trying to think through like how to improve this app going forward. Honestly, like, think about it this way, right? While I'm happy with some of the progress that we made overall, like we did pretty solid. Todd. Hey, Todd. You okay? Okay, you're okay. I was scratching by his eye. I want to make sure he didn't get hurt. Anyway, as I was saying, howdy, hello. You're right at the tail end, probably. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to stay on. or not necessarily able to stay on. Actually able to stay on. I'm at 7%. Oof, that is really unfortunate. Okay, let's think here. Hold on. Oh, you're just getting home. That is totally fine. Let me get my computer charger. It's gonna take about 2 seconds. DRB. About that. I want to make sure we didn't die midstream. What language are we using? This is Swift, specifically with SwiftUI. So we were building out some UI screens for some of the apps that I've worked on, or some of the app idea, like an app idea I had from a while back. So it's kind of fun to get to mess around with it a little bit. Main tab view, I think, is the most impressive one when we load into it, because you guys kind of see all the little bits and pieces in action when you go to dashboard. You can scroll through my pets, when you can see the images, I don't like how little padding is on that, but on that little guy there. Let me check. Where's the login? That's the login. Oh, and the login view looks pretty good too. Oh shoot. Sorry. I forgot to grab you. My goodness. Dude, you shed everywhere. How did you do that? For context, the inspo behind this app is my brand new adopted dog. His name is Todd. He is in the Discord in Cute Critters if you want to give him some love. However, he is absolutely shedding like a madman. Anyway, so this is our lovely little login screen that we built out mostly in part 1. And then today we mostly worked on building out our main tab view here. Kind of just wrapping up these ends, right, with food, exercise, dashboard, services. And well, not much of these other pages really got done, but trying to get horizontal scroll views and vertical scroll views. And what I was saying though is that I didn't like how close the bell was here. I need that. Definitely needs more padding on the left side. Todd, stop pulling. Dude, stop pulling out, please. Come on. What are you trying to do? I think he's attempting to bury his bone under my suitcase. Which, you know what, bud? More power to you. All right, come on. Getting yourself stuck. There you go. Welcome back. Anyway, as I was saying, this guy needs some dot trailing padding on the bottom. Or at the end. Perfect. That looks so much better. Let's also make sure that gets added to the dashboard view. Cool. Needs to be under the image here. And then got, where's the image name? Where's the image name? Where's the little bell? Perfect. Okay. Then I'm looking at it. I don't know whether I've changed the color of a lot of these things, so let's maybe also try to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just toss, I don't know, could I just toss a foreground color, accent color dark on the whole VStack? That worked. That's kind of crazy. So now I want to remove dot foreground color from everywhere else. I have it, so let's delete that, delete that, delete that. That's the only place. Sweet. And then let's do the same thing in services view, right? So we'll do look for dot foreground color. Delete it here. Delete it here. And then finally, that's it. There's no mention of it anywhere. So we'll add it back to the bottom here. Foreground color, accent color dark. just to get the grays consistent everywhere. Actually, did that even do it? Am I missing it? I think I accidentally applied it to the scroll view, but that's fine. That should be fine. That's not a huge problem. All right, let's get these changes pushed up too. Git add git commit -m last minute changes. And let's do git push. Okay, cool. I don't know if there's much that we can get done in the next few minutes without starting a new part. So here's what I'm going to do. First and foremost, make sure that you give me some feedback at GHW at emily.link/GHW feedback. If you enjoyed this stream or any of the other streams of mine that you've been to ever, but specifically during season launch of 2025, let me know what you liked and what you didn't like, if there's anything in particular. And as always, I'd love to hear about it, chat about it. And also receive good feedback from the team, which is awesome. And then what I want to do as well is shout out our next stream, which is taking place right after mine. Abdullah runs a really cool series called Paper of the Month. So he's going to be coming back with a cutting edge or impactful research paper in a beginner-friendly way. Specifically, it's a monthly dose of tech and AI insights. It's a really fun session. He does a great job of it, and it's kind of a series regular at this point. So I really, 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 really recommend that you join that. Next thing is we have one more other stream before we round out the end of Global Hack Week, and that's Real World IoT Projects Part 2 with Alberto from 10 p.m. to midnight tonight. So it's right after Abdul's Paper of the Month. He's going to be building out, continuing his earlier streams. So I think that would be really fun. And from there, you should be able to learn some really cool stuff. Last but certainly not least, Cecilia and Quinn will be running our closing ceremony for GHW tomorrow at 11 my time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And you should totally join them, say hi, and find out all the cool stuff that we did during GHW. So that is, let me think if there's anything else that I really, really, really want to get done. Share the feedback link. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more things. Paste the event check-in link for anybody who might need it. So it's 12-751. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in for those of us who maybe came in late and want to check in before the event ends in a few short minutes. And then last but certainly not least, also that GHW feedback link, I'm also going to paste in the chat. So I'm going to have to edit it real quick so I can grab it, copy it, save it, undo it, paste it. Perfect. And then one more thing. I want to also share the GitHub repository for this project again. Like I mentioned, we didn't get as much done as I wanted, but we still got a decent amount done. And as always, if you want to, find me on GitHub, say hello, follow, whatever you would like. That is literally totally fine. Feel free. But if not, go ahead and find me right here. And then, yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for me. Unless there's anything else from anybody in the audience. I'm going to stay on for, let's do like a few more minutes. Maybe let me check on some other things first. See if there's anything else that requires my attention, but I don't think so. But we'll go ahead and make sure that everything here is squared away, that there's no questions in the chat, and then we'll log off for the night. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Thanks all very much for coming. I had a fun time at this GHW. So, looking at everything that we've done in the last few months has been pretty fun. And I've had a pretty solid time of it. So I'm excited. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really have that I want to add. This is really funny. I just saw myself at an old looking through the MLH YouTube, looking at old stream stuff. All right. Well, I think this is going to be it, and I'm going to officially log off. Thank you once again all so much for coming. See you all in August? Question mark? Hopefully. We'll see. I'm going to try and make the streams work with my schedule. Alrighty. Bye, everybody.